Okay, so yeah, we don't have to allow anybody. I think we're live. I think we're in here.
We're live.
All right, all right. Well, hey, welcome. I gotta look at that camera up there.
Yeah.
Welcome to Silver Lining Real Estate Group webinar. We're talking about the real estate. We're gonna uncover what's really happening in the market. I'm here with Lauren Whitaker, one of my business partners here, and I'm Scott Foltz. We're going to just kind of go over, what's the word on the street, what's going on with the market. If you took a poll, if you asked 20 people what's going on, you're going to get about 35 different answers. There's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of things going around that the media is often very negative, but we want to set people straight. We want to give you the truth. So you can use that truth to better your position if that's what you need to do right now. So we've got a few things we want to talk about. Oh, we good? No. The what?
The chat.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get this figured out. Good.
Should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, fortunately, it's just us. So yeah. All right. No, we get take two. So what we're going to get into some statistics. We're going to get into statistics on the team, some of the things that are going on here at Silver Lining Real Estate Group. We're going to get into mortgage rates, home appreciation, some really usable things. So, if once you're in here, if you have any questions, any comments you'd like for us to address, definitely drop them in the chat and we will address those. So, I guess, first of all, we can dive in a little bit to what's going on with the market in our area right now. Lauren, I'll let you put together some stats here that we've kind of gone over.
So every time we have a weekly meeting here in the office, we go over what's going on in Tippecanoe County and surrounding counties. So surrounding counties, meaning that anything that touches Tippecanoe County. So our inventory supply is 1.4 months worth of supply. And what does that even mean? So 1.4 months of supply is if we didn't put any homes on the market today, and what's on there from today, it would last 1.4 months. So not even a month and a half. And then the average sales price is $267. So it's getting up there a little bit. Yeah. I think on our team, it is around 197. Yeah, so
it could be.
And then our sold days on market is 26 days. So on average, it's taking about 26 days to sell your home. And that's really not bad. I think on the team, it's about 12.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's very fast.
Yeah. And then our list versus pending. So 85% of homes are going pending in today's market. So if you listed your home today, you have an 85% chance of it getting pending pretty soon.
Yeah. So these are July stats, I believe.
Yeah.
And so of all the homes that got listed in July, 85% of them were pending. So yeah, that's a fantastic stat.
Yeah.
Still definitely a seller's market. But we're going to go over some things that can help buyers in the same situation.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
One thing that has been really kind of bothered me, a lot of people will complain about rates and they will say, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait till the rates go down. Right now, obviously I can afford more house if the rates are lower. And on the surface, that is true. If you have a lower interest rate on your mortgage, you can get more bang for your buck. I don't think we'll ever see in the twos again. That was an anomaly for sure.
Yeah. Unless you're coming up with a new idea for the next pandemic, please let us know.
Yeah, global pandemic will have an effect on the global market. So I just don't see that, being a thing again. But there is good news on the horizon from a lot of different companies that are in the know. We've got stats from from Fannie Mae. We've got stats from the Mortgage Bankers Association and from the National Association of Realtors. They all participated in some projections for interest rates. So they do range from, they've got projections for the rest of 2023, going into 2024, the first half of 2024, and it's very promising. A lot of people, again, will say they're waiting for interest rates. If that's you, there's hope. Lauren, if you would want to just kind of touch
Yeah.
on the interest rate, the trend, the projected trend?
Yeah, so as of right now, interest rates are just kind of sitting in a medium range. So they're sitting at a normal rate right now. And most people they're scared of that because people were freaking out about the 2s and 3s to where they think that's normal now.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's
Short
really
memories.
not. Because as we see, people that bought with a 2 and 3% interest rate, now they're selling because they realize they don't need that much home. So that's kind of what we're seeing as well. But for the rest of this year, so Q3 and Q4. So we're in Q3 right now, and then Q4 is the end of the year. So they're projecting that Q3, it's going to be a 6.3%. And then for 2023's Q4, 5.97%.
So yeah,
So,
and to put that in perspective, right now, we're right at a 7 for an average 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So they're projecting potentially at around the 6 range or slightly under
right.
by the end of this year.
And that's a huge jump, especially for people that are waiting for interest rates to drop. Now, what's going to happen is it's kind of like dropping a little piece of fish for all the piranhas. So you're waiting for this interest rate drop, and then it does it. What is going to happen?
Right.
So
yeah, and so when people get it in their mind, I mean, this is great news for sure, and it will benefit people that are able to get a house at that point. They're going to be able to afford more homes. So right now, if they're pre-approved for the average price of $267, I think it was, they will actually be able to get pre-approved for quite a bit more than that for the same monthly payment.
Mhm.
So that's what it will really be based on. But the flip side of that is it will be a feeding frenzy. If it's a seller's market right now, there's not enough inventory. We showed you the stats on how much inventory there is. Imagine what that's going to do if rates go down again,
right.
which is exactly what happened 3 and 4 years ago. It was nuts, and people had fear of missing out,
Right.
and they were overbidding on houses. When double the number of people want to buy something that doesn't increase in inventory, I mean, talk about supply and demand,
Right.
Chaos. So what I've been saying to people that say, well, I just am going to wait till rates drop. The flip side of that is it will be a feeding frenzy. Now, in order to get a house, you're going to do again what they were doing during COVID. You're going to bid $20,000 and $30,000 over the listed price,
Right.
just because there's going to be double-digit offers again on homes.
Right.
So my suggestion, and this is picking up some traction. My suggestion is to get the house now, because if you see a house that you like and you can afford it, get it now. You're not going to be involved in the feeding frenzy at all. Then if the rates go down, you can refinance, and then your payment will go down. So you'll be in the house that you want to be in, and you'll be able to take advantage of a great rate.
Right.
What happens if someone just wants to wait until the rates go down? It's going to get nuts.
Yeah.
You're going to overpay for your house anyway. So people, fortunately, like especially the older crowd, when people were paying $20,000 and $30,000 over the appraised value for homes a few years ago, there were obviously people that are like, I would never do that. Fortunately, the way the appreciation was, people that spent $100,000 on a house 3 years ago, that house is probably worth $150,000 now, because appreciation has been pretty nuts here too. Yeah.
Well, and an example that we use for our sellers most of the time, like I have a couple just right off the bat. So we had someone buy in 2020 for $215,000. So he bought a house at $215,000, and he's only been there for 3 years. You want to know what his home is worth today? $310,000. And that's today.
Yeah.
Could you imagine in 2 years when he's in that home for 5 years?
Yeah. And imagine if he didn't, again, the whole paying over the appraised value, he would still be ahead, but that's a risk. So I'm always just go with what you know what the rates are now, you know what the inventory is, find that house while everyone else is attacking each other and going $20,000 and $30,000 over what it takes to get the house.
Right.
You refinance and you're in your house already.
And you don't have to worry about the competition, because one thing that we have seen in the past is people doing appraisal gaps. What are appraisal gaps? You're promising the seller, you're bringing X amount of dollars outside of your down payment and closing costs, which can be thousands of dollars. So then you're truly paying above appraisal price, which for most of our clients, we don't do above appraisal price. So you're still getting a great deal on your home because you're paying market value.
Right.
So that's a deal in itself. But Tippecanoe County in the last year alone has had 5% in appreciation values. So that's nuts in itself.
Yeah.
We had a seller back in February, March, that they sold their home on the west side and they had bought it 8 months ago, which it's now a year actually, because their anniversary had just come up, but they had sold it only being in that home for 8 months. They purchased it at $295. They sold it for $320. That's insane.
Yeah.
And it appraised.
Yeah. The market is still hot for sure. But it's not something that I would say, just wait,
Right.
It'll get better, because what the real trade-off is now you're going to have to get the same house 3 months from now, you're going to have to pay a considerable amount of cash right now out of pocket that a lot of people just may not have. Whereas if you get a house now with a slightly higher rate, your monthly payment will be a little bit higher, but you can change that. You can fix that with a reduction in interest.
How I like to explain it to most people is, no, you're not getting a 2 and 3%, but those people who have a 2 and 3% can't refinance out of that because they paid $20,000-$30,000 over. You can't take that off what you paid.
That's true.
But when you get a 6.5 interest rate and you didn't pay that much above, you maybe paid 10 or 15 above, but it appraised and you've been in that home for at least a year or two and then interest rates drop. Now you can refinance and then you ride the appreciation wave and have a lower payment.
That's very true there too. People that paid above the appraised value, while they gained equity, they are missing out on a big chunk of that because they had to overpay for the house.
Right. So now it's a double-edged sword where you're like, oh, I got a great interest rate, but I paid this much over asking, so I can't ever refinance to get a lower payment or anything like that. You're just kind of in no man's land.
Right. Yeah. No, that's an interesting trade-off for sure. Another thing, I guess, that lends itself well to don't wait. Right now, the recent stats that have come out are that rent prices in Indiana are averaging $1,100.
Yeah.
So if you're like most people, if you're like the average person, you're paying over $1,000 a month for rent, which you're paying a mortgage.
Mhm.
It's just not yours.
Right.
So $1,100 in rent. Do you remember what the average monthly mortgage payment is in Indiana?
Yeah. So the average, or I guess you could say median, is the mortgage is $1,000. So if you're paying over $1,000, you're proving that you can already pay a mortgage, whether or not it be, and we work with people all the time that need credit work, or, we need to know how much a down payment is. Those are all things that we can work through, but you have to just know, okay, I'm paying to live in a rental right now. What is this rental? Is it a single family or is it an apartment? If it's an apartment and you're paying over $1,000, you're like, okay, well, now I know I could afford a home.
Exactly.
And you're already proving that you can pay. If you've been there for over 6 months and you've paid on time, you're proving that you can make that payment.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here. Rent prices don't go down.
No,
They will never go down.
it's
They
like
will-
appreciation.
Yeah.
Appreciation goes up, so do your payments.
Yeah.
Like your mortgage payment will go up due to taxes, but you can always bet that it's going to stay a little bit lower than rent.
Yeah, right.
Because what happens with your rent? It's going to go up. What do they fix about it? Nothing. It stays the same.
You don't get anything more
Yeah.
for the same.
And you can't even
more
do
money.
anything to it
Right. Yeah.
most
yeah.
of the time.
So right now, in Indiana, we have the second lowest average mortgage payment in the nation. So there are 48 states right now that have higher average mortgage payments than what we have. and especially in Tippecanoe County area, where's our market, if you've seen anything lately in the media, Wall Street Journal put out an article, Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, #1 real estate market in the nation right
For
now.
3 quarters in a row.
3 quarters in a row. I have people, family members from out of state sending me like screenshots. They saw it on the news. They saw an article here, and that's, I mean, that's an amazing thing. We have a very strong market here with Purdue, draws a ton of people from internationally.
Yeah.
Caterpillar, Subaru. We've got so many large companies here. Just it's fantastic for our home values. So it's never too early to get in on that, because projection is, and the next statistic we want to talk about, projection on home appreciation for next year, 2024, it's at almost 1.5%. For 2025, it's over 3.25 or near 3.25%. 2026, it's at over 4%. And then 2027 is projected almost 4.5%. So every year,
It just keeps getting higher and
it's
higher.
more and more appreciation. Again, so don't wait. So many people say I'm going to wait for this and that, and homes are not getting cheaper. If I've heard too many people say I'm saving money, this much money, I want to save 20% for a down payment. They save that 20%, but 6 months later, the house is, more expensive. Now it's 105% what it was. So it's
like
catching a moving train.
Right. You're never going to catch up to that train. And so you just have to realize, okay, what do I need to do to be comfortable?
Right.
Because nationwide in the US, home values appreciated 56.1%. In Indiana, it was 51.8. So you can round up and say 52%. And that's over the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine. A little bit earlier, I mentioned in Tippecanoe County last year, it was 5%. So if you're saving up, if you're trying to catch this wave, talk to someone about how to get ready now. Because if you're renting and you want to buy 6 months from when your lease is out, start now. It's never too early to start, because if you have credit work, if you want to save up money, you need to know what goes into this process to know how to do it correctly. Because I think people have this misconception of their first home is their forever home.
Right.
And so having that expectation and the reality of, okay, I need this to get ready, and this is actually what I'm aiming for. Then you have a clear goal set in mind to act on it.
Right.
That way you don't have to, I have to re-sign my lease.
Yeah.
Because I'm not ready.
Exactly. And I definitely don't want our conversation to come off as doom and gloom. What we're trying to do is protect you from waiting, because there are things you can do right now, you can do tomorrow. And you don't have to go it alone, especially if you're a first-time buyer. Don't try to do this alone. It will cost you time, and it will cost you money, and then it will cost you more money. We're here to help. You can always get a hold of us to set up a consultation. How much do I need to save? I had got into a little bit of a discussion on about that Wall Street Journal article, and someone was they couldn't believe that you could have someone cover your down payment.
Right.
And I was like, that's a pretty common thing. There's down payment assistance. If you're a veteran, take advantage of a VA loan. You earn that.
Right.
That's no down payment.
Or if you like country living, there's USDA, which you would still have closing costs, but it's no down payment. And I think that's what people get caught on, is that we get so creative here on how to get people into homes that we're like, oh, it's common sense. But this is why we do these, is because it's not.
Yeah.
We want to help our community because there are so many options. It's not just you need 20% and you have to have this much saved up and this kind of credit score. No, you don't.
Right. Yeah. So many people think home buying is out of reach for them. It's what someone else can do. But we've got a team full of agents that will help walk you through the process, connect you with a great lender. That's a huge part of it. Again, there are programs out there for down payment assistance. And right now, you don't have to save 20% of, if you're looking for $100,000 house, you don't have to save $20,000. it's great. Obviously, the more money you have, that's fantastic. But the way appreciation is going to be going, homes are going to be getting more expensive over the next several years. So get in now, and we can definitely help you. Again, I hear so many agents, oh, this is crazy, this market's crazy. I don't use that language. I don't,
Yeah.
it's not crazy, it's normal.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We are here to meet our clients where they are. Last month, so we just, gosh, today's August 1st.
Wow.
Just last month, as a team, you looked up, it was 17 families we got into homes.
Yeah, so in last month, so in July, we closed 17 people out. So in that were 12 buyers and 5 sellers.
Yeah,
So it's not impossible. And these are people that we've probably met with in the past 6 months or even 2 years ago. So it doesn't matter where you're at in the process, we're here for you. So if it means that you are 2 years out or you're 6 months out or you just need help, that's what we're here for.
yeah,
Because there's a joke that I'm the queen of down payment assistance, but it's not that. It's people deserve to be in homes. You've already proven that you can make that payment. So why not just make that payment your own?
right. Absolutely. Yeah, if you're paying rent, you can pay the amount. If credit work is keeping you from, even trying, I always say if you're walking around and you have a stabbing pain in your side, go see a doctor, figure it out. It's probably fixable. And, we're here to help, for sure. It's doable. You're not different. If it takes 6 months, if it takes a year, we've had people that take 18 months or 2 years in order to get their scores where they need to be, or to save whatever is needed if they have to save any. I'm closing someone tomorrow. It's going to have to bring, I think, $200 to the closing.
Yeah.
And they're getting it's their first house. He's thrilled. And so we do it every day. I guess, yeah, if we'd closed 17 last month, that was more than one every other day. So
Right.
it happens.
As I would say, I've had a buyer that had to bring 42 cents to closing. And it's just like, it's crazy to think about because people think that you have to bring $20,000-$30,000 to closing. And it's like, no, she had to bring change from her car to closing.
Yeah.
And the great thing about getting connected with a local lender is that this credit work and everything that we're talking about, it's completely free.
Yeah.
Because we work with great people that have the same goals and mission as us, is that we want to help as many people as we can. And why should people be charged for something that they need?
Yeah, absolutely. I firmly believe that home ownership is such a huge thing in developing into starting to build your wealth. People that get into a house by paying $200. My first house, I got a $750 check back when I bought the house. I went and bought a TV very wisely. I needed a bigger TV. That house appreciated, just like everyone else's. Just because you put $0 down on a house or get down payment assistance from
It doesn't mean that you're any different.
Yeah, your house, that doesn't make your house any different. Your house is going to go up 5% next year too, just like everyone else's.
Right.
So
it doesn't mean that, oh, well, this is bad. I did this bad. No, it's the same as everybody else. The situation's a little different, but you still get the same benefits as everybody else.
Absolutely. Then you get some home equity, then you can do some things down the road, remodel. You can do so many different things with that home equity. There's some amazing programs. So people that are able to get into a house, which is almost everyone, if they try and if they connect with the right people, those people will begin gaining wealth immediately. And then it's a good habit. I always love when it's a first time home buyer. No one out in their home or in their house, their family has ever bought their own house.
Right.
They've got kids. Now the kids see it. So now that's just normal to their kids. So that's why we do this.
Yeah.
To help people accomplish their goals. And it's such a great thing.
Yeah. Even just like families, you can see it within the family. Oh, well, so-and-so did it, so why can't I do it?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then that person gets a house, and then the next one gets a house. And it becomes a big family thing of like, okay, you didn't think it was possible, but now it is.
Yeah.
And it's always been possible. You just need to get connected with the right person.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of our favorite lenders that we work with, his motto is we won't give up unless you give up on yourself. We're in it for the long haul. And even then, we don't give up. So
Right.
yeah, we have people that have been working on credit for over 2 years, or their life changes and it gets put on hold, but they come back. Those are the ones that mean so much.
Yeah.
So we're working, I showed a house to a 19-year-old today, 19-year-old guy that he's working hard. He's got 2 jobs. He took a second job so that he could get his house here soon. He's tired of paying rent.
Yeah.
He said, lease is up soon. I'm done. I'm so done. I want mine. I want it to be mine. And
Yeah.
the pride of home ownership is just such a big thing. So I know we had a question a few minutes ago was, how can I find out what my home value is? If you're a homeowner, we can absolutely help with that. There are some automated sites you can go to that will get you close, but we would love to come out. I mean, literally for 10 minutes looking at your house, we can dial in a pricing strategy. We can let you know what you could get for it if you were wanting to sell it. Then what you can do with that money, if you're looking to make a move. Some people think, well, rates are higher right now, so I couldn't get the same house I have now. And that's not necessarily true, because you've gained enough equity over the last few years or more,
Right.
that now you can pay down the other house more and
Right.
not have such a big loan. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we help people every day. And so one thing that I actually had someone reach out to me about is that they have an investment property that it's just becoming too much for them to handle. So they're like, will you just go out, see the condition, and just give me an estimated value? Because we can do it. Zillow can give you an estimate all day long. Is it accurate? Probably not. So just even going out, like you said, for 10 minutes and just seeing, okay, what is possible for this home in today's market? It's free. Why not see?
Free information.
Yeah. And I think that's what gets people hung up. They're like, free. It's completely for free.
We talk to too many people that have never had someone sincerely and
Mhm.
genuinely offer to help them. And that's sad to me.
Yeah.
I can always tell when I have a conversation with someone, like there are just certain people that no one has ever been in their corner.
Yeah.
No one has ever supported them. So it is a little bit hard to believe
Right.
for some people. But just get a hold of us. We'll put our numbers. We'll tell you those here in a minute, our email addresses. If you want information about the house you're in, if you're looking at buying in the future, if you want to know about rates, if you want to be kept up to date on it, when rates go down, if you're that interested in rates, just talk to somebody that knows what's going on. It will save you so much time and money. My number is 765-427-2982. Email is just Scott, SCOTT @SLREG.com. Lauren's number.
So my number is 765-204-2690, and email is almost the same, almost. It's actually Lauren@SLREG.com.
Yes.
And something that I wanted to share, because I guess you could say it's a success story, but we've had a client that she lives down in Crawfordsville, and her home that she's renting right now is actually being sold.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's sitting on the market, so she's not really she's in a hurry, obviously, but she still has time. But she's a single mom. She has 4 kids. Like, she never thought it was possible to own a home. And she took the first step in just meeting with me and one of our lenders for 45 minutes. And she was like, everything is possible. And just knowing that she had our team and then the lenders team behind her, just saying, hey, we're here for you. Like, what's going on in life? Are you working overtime? What are you doing today? Just knowing that she had that support outside of real estate. I mean, we talk all the time.
It's just, that's why we do it. I post all the time, do what you love and love what you do. People over profits. It just makes everything so enjoyable, and it's so cool to see people change their lives. Sometimes because of just a simple text or a phone call. They just reach out. I don't know if there's any other questions, we can address those. Otherwise, feel free, if you still have questions, to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
We'd love talking with new people. It's exciting to learn, what's going on out there. Don't be dissuaded by the media.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing, is that everybody in the media, you see it and you're like, oh, this sucks. This is so bad. And then it's like, you have a team of people that is like, no, it's great. It's good. Like, you have to look at the positives of everything and just seeing it from that perspective. Because I know at one point I was a very negative person, and it still happens from time to time. Nobody's perfect, but you just have to take that first step and don't wait, because we hear all the time, I feel like I waited too long, or I feel like I missed out. It's never too late, but also don't wait. Make that call, make that text, because we say it all the time here. If you're scared to make that phone call, what do you like about that person? I'm here to help people today. How am I going to help this person today?
Yeah, that's our goal, is to just find who needs help. It'd be a lot faster if you got a hold of us. Our jobs would be a lot easier and faster if everyone that needed help just called us, but we'll find you. We'll find you if you need
That
help.
sounded a little
I know,
starfish. We'll find
we
you.
got you. We got you. Yeah, just don't wait. That article I saw about the Wall Street Journal, the negative spin on that just cracked me up. The headline was Lafayette or Tippecanoe County has the #1 real estate market in the country. And people are like, well, that's a weird way to say overpriced housing or whatever. Like, you're paying rent that on average statistically is higher than what a mortgage is.
Right.
Get a house.
If you looked on Zillow right now in Lafayette, Indiana, and you looked at the south side of town where most people want to be, and you looked at a house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, the rent's probably going to be between $1,400 and $1,700 a month. I know for a fact you can get a house around $210, $220. That's that's below average. So if you could find a home within that price range, you're already paying it. So why not?
Absolutely.
Why not at least just see what it would be?
Absolutely. The lesson here is don't wait. Yes, rates will probably go down according to some people that know much more about mortgage rates than what I do. But it will still end up costing you in different ways. Don't wait. If you need to wait because of credit scores, at least connect with someone who knows what's going on and can help you for free learn what to do. Yes, not everyone's timeline is today, but we want to help clarify your timeline.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there are companies that make you pay for credit work and you can get it for free. Do not pay for it. I've had that happen before where they're like, oh no, this I'm paying them to help me.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like feeding into like a dripping pot. If they can give you a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And then, okay, well, come back next month and pay me, and then I'll tell you what to do next. No, we'll give it to y'all up front.
Their motivation is to keep you paying every month for them to work.
It's kind of like rent in a way.
Yeah.
If we can keep you here and keep your rent coming in, why would we stop that drip?
Exactly. Whereas a lender gets paid when you buy a house. So they will absolutely help you save the most time, the most money, so that you can get that house. So yes. We probably beat a dead horse here.
Yeah.
Don't wait. If we haven't mentioned that yet, 14 times.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Make it 15. Don't wait.
Don't wait. Call us now. Email us. Get a hold of us. Silver Lining Real Estate Group. Look us up on Google. So many 5 stars. I think we've got more 5-star ratings than anyone else in the county, at least. So yes, a lot of happy stories you'll read about us there and what we've been able to do for people, and we're proud to do that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Well, get a hold of us. We look forward to meeting you, talking with you, and getting you to your goals. So I forgot we used to open our Silver Lining TV with our goal is to help you reach yours. So absolutely get a hold of us. Scott, Lauren, have a good evening. All right.